we're going to be focusing on creating a full breath. And in that full breath, you'll notice once you create it that there's a natural retention that happens. So if you really create the patience and the fullness of an inhale or an exhale, you'll hit a moment where you peak. You can't take any more breath in. And that peak will be met by a point of stillness. And so we're going to see how we can use that awareness of breath and add it into our asana. You know, still adding movement and flow, that is a vinyasa, but giving the time in each posture to really come into it to the point of reaching a moment of stillness, right? To allow ourselves to fully process the work of the pose. So we'll find that in the asana, and we'll find that in our breath. And ultimately, this is, you know, leading us to this bigger space to create meditation, which is supreme stillness, right? Stilling the body, having a breath that's so easy. Callie, no. Having a breath that's so easy that that it almost feels still. And then eventually stilling the mind and stilling the nerves. So the stilling process, nirodha, is a huge lesson that we will begin to embody and explore today. So with that, come into child's pose. So sit back into your child's pose. Give yourself a moment to settle in, allowing the weight of your head to drop into the mat. Let your upper back soften. And relax as much as you can at the outer hips and even behind the fold of your knees. And create stillness in your physical body, which will be a practice. It'll be a process that goes much deeper than the physical body, because you're asking yourself to let go and create space between sensation and your instinctual reaction to it. In every posture, there'll be a balance of strength and ease, of something that might be comfortable in a space that has discomfort in it. In the process of stilling, you don't react to either one. And so as you still the body, deepen your breath. And see if you can start to marry these two things together. Feeling a distinction become even greater the more the body stills. The more you're aware of the full movement of your breath. And we'll hold here for just a few more minutes now that you've introduced some awareness to your breath. Can you begin to lengthen your breath until you reach the peak of your inhale and the pit of your exhale? Notice at first the impatience that's natural with every human. Our instinctual response generates it. Might have you skipping to the end and holding your breath too soon. Just in becoming aware of that process of creating that hold instead of letting it naturally arise,
Becoming aware, if that's what you're doing, is a huge first step. Take a couple more big breaths here. Inhaling all the way to the point where you can't breathe in any more air. The whole trunk of your body expanded and inflated. And enough of a pause at a top that you just recognize that pause, like a period at the end of the sentence. On your next breath, rise up into a tabletop position. Curl your tailbone and your gaze up to the ceiling to cow pose. Full breath in. Exhale, round your spine into cat. Cow pose, breathe in. Exhale, roll into cat. So keep going back and forth. And so this is where our work of the asana will blend with pranayama. You will now quickly and often throughout this class recognize that the sensation of the body can take lead and affect the rhythm of your breath and the intention of your breath. That being because the body is just a little bit more external than the breath. Therefore, it's more sensational and connected to more reaction. As often that's the way that we interpret and move through the world. From perceiving the external, feeling the external, and then creating our internal from that perception. In yoga, our goal is to shift that perception, create the internal, as a way to broaden our perception of the external. And we've been going back and forth just through cat-cow pose. Of course, if you move into a dancing lion and want to create bigger circles to open up your side ribs and side waist, you can do that as well. We're going to stay here for just a couple more moments because it's often the simplest things that can be quite complex. So something like these movements, a simple posture, but finding the patience and awareness to allow the breath to lead the way. And the breath is one of length, depth, with a moment of naturally arising pause, retention at the peak of your inhale and the pit of your exhale. Take 3 more big breaths. If you've moved through dancing lion, switch and reverse the circle. And then land neutral spine, shift your hips forward and slowly lower all the way down to your stomach and your chest. Separate your hands out wider than your mat onto fingertips, elbows point up to the ceiling. Plug the heads of your shoulders down away from your ears, curl up your upper back to cobra. Exhale, slowly roll yourself down. Listen to your breath here. The retention should come from taking a full breath, not a holding the breath because of the reaction and the posture. Keep going up and down through your cobra slowly. A lot of time what happens in our back bends, like cobra or up dogs, is that we quite quickly hold the breath. It reacts to the openness of the posture. See if you can breathe. And continue to inhale, and that might take some effort to reach the length of your inhale. But don't let the effort cut your breath off short. Take one more inhale, keep rising, keep breathing in. Keep sipping more air in as you rise, and then hold. Hold at the top and breathe out. Float your hands up off of the mat, squeeze your elbows to spine, breathe. Tuck your chin slightly so the back of your neck is long and lift your toes. Just reach your arms straight back, hold, strengthening the whole back body. Take a couple more breaths here. Holding the postures can often trigger that heightened response, that need to quicken the breath, to create movements. That's our instinct. So therefore, we practice moving outside of our instincts. Take one more deep breath. Exhale, release all the way down. Plant your hands, push yourself up to your knees, and draw back to downward facing dog. And so why, you might have asked yourself, why do we practice moving past our instincts? Well, yogis believe that we are more than our instincts. Another way you can put it is that we are not our instincts. And they believe that we are not our body, not our thoughts, not our emotions, because all of those things change. And so if we try to anchor and believe that we are something that consistently changes, there'll be suffering. Take a few more big breaths in a down dog. Listen to your breath. So through the breath, through a process of deep stilling, maybe we can anchor into us the thing that is unchanged, our consciousness. Take one more deep breath. Lift your heels high and walk your feet all the way up towards your hands at the top of your mat. Separate your feet hip distance. Grab opposite elbow with a soft bend in your knees, ragdoll pose. Allow your head to hang heavy, the back of your neck to relax. Let your head sway just enough to release the superficial surface layer of tension. Challenge yourself in the length of your hamstrings by creating equal weight from heels to toes. So a lot of the times we keep the weight of our hips behind the heels, which keeps the ankles short, or the hamstrings short but tight. Can you tip forward just slightly? The heels are still grounded, but some of the weight shifts forward, anchoring into the toe ball mound, the big toe to the pinky toe. A few more breaths here. See if you can create an internal sensation of pulling your thigh bones so deep up into the hip sockets that your pelvis tilts a little bit more forward. Sit bones lift a little bit higher, deepening your folds. One more breath. Release your hands and then slowly stack your spine all the way up to stand. Push down through your feet. Big inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Go ahead, pause in your mountain pose.
Anchor into the soles of your feet equally. Strengthen up your legs. Create the natural curve of your lumbar spine, but also pull your belly button up towards your ribs so there's an engagement and lifting of your core. Allow your front ribs to draw towards the back ribs. Drag your upper arm bones down into the sockets so your scapula feels strong and lengthen through the back of your neck, base of the skull. Take one more deep breath. Bring your hands together at your heart center, gently pushing your hands together to pull your collarbones open. Full breath in. Full breath out. With the breath leading the way, inhale, reach up to mountain. Hold for a moment of pause that naturally arises from the peak of the breath. Slowly exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step back to high plank. Notice if you walked back so quickly that you're still breathing out, waiting impatiently for the next pose. You're going to start to find a perfect timing. Take a breath in as you hold your plank. Now, low plank, slowly breathe out so you're not reactive to the work of this movement. Inhale, upward facing dog. Slow exhale to downward facing dog. Okay, close your eyes in your down dog. Check in on your breath. Notice if it's short. If it's just from feeling in your collarbones, in your throat, can you deepen your breath? Remind yourself of the capacity of your inhale and what it's like to truly feel patience as you exhale. Take one more deep breath. Now take the length of your exhale to walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Keep folding the length of your breath out. Even when you think you can't fold anymore, inhale, mountain pose. Rise all the way up until you hit that peak pause. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to high plank. Pause, breathe in. Slow down your breath as you slowly lower to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Breathe in. As you exhale, step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Inhale, mountain pose, rise tall. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, step back. Pause, inhale. Low plank as you exhale. Inhale, up dog. Down dog, exhale. Feel your breath as you breathe.
A foundational mindful practice. Feel your inhale as you breathe in. Feel your exhale as you breathe out. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Step your right foot between your hands as you breathe out. Crescent warrior, rise up tall, big inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, high plank. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, your left leg lifts to the ceiling. Exhale, step between your hands. Finish your exhale till you hit a pause. Breathe in, crescent, rise up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, your right leg lifts. Exhale, your knee to your chest. Pause, breathe in. Step between your hands just with a breath out, so slow down the movement so the breath can decipher the pace. Inhale, crescent, rise up tall. Exhale, sink lower. Take another breath in. And a slow breath out. Hinge your upper body forward and arms back. Breathe in. Airplane, lift off as you breathe out. Holds. Lower your chest but lift your arms. Push your right foot down and draw your right thigh bone up into the hip socket. Reach back through all 10 fingers and left toes. Now listen to your breath. Three more breaths. One more big breath. Bend your right knee, float back. Crescent warrior, big inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, slowly lower your left knee down to the mat. Inhale, keep lifting up, pulling your chest out of your hips for a slight upper back bend. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Draw your front ribs to your back ribs. Reverse your low lunge, big breath in. Exhale, your left hand down to the ground, right arm up towards the sky. Spiral onto the pinky edge side of your right foot. Make sure that you don't drop then all of the weight into your left hip and left hand. So push through the pinky edge side of your right foot for stability. Roll some of the weight into your right hip and your right foot. Twist your right arm to the back of your mat. Keep plugging your shoulder blades down your back so that it props your chest up. Hold here or grab hold of your left foot. Check in with your breath. We're going to hold this for a little bit longer, just like airplane pose, so you can start to practice shifting this experience from one where the posture is defining the internal experience for you to one where you can create your internal experience, which in turn will create the posture. Do so through your breath. Things to look for in your breath technique: length
and fullness in both the inhale and exhale. And the defining factor of reaching those two things will be a spontaneous pause at the top of your inhale and exhale. And you have 3 more big breaths. Slowly release. Unravel your upper body. Place your right hand to the inside of your right shin. Lift your left knee up off of the mat. Drop your left heel down. Extended side angle. Peel your left arm open towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Hold for your breath out. One more inhale to the peak. Empty out to the pit. Left hand comes down. Step back, high plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, slowly lower low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Down dog, a posture that's pretty attainable to us, most, with some sort of modification possibly, but attainable. So use this place of grounding in the body, therefore grounding in the mind, to check in on the nature of your breath. Notice if it's reactive. And drop back into technique, back into intention. Inhale your left leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull your knee in towards your chest. Hold, breathe in. Step between your hands as you breathe out. Crescent warrior, inhale, rise. Lengthen your stance as you exhale. Then find stillness in the strength and in the ease. Sweep your arms back, chest forward, breathe in. Airplane pose, lift. Good. Now listen to the cues. The cues physically are meant to help stabilize the posture so that you know what to do to hold the body still, so that you could focus on creating those moments of stillness and breath. So push through your left foot, strengthen your left quad. It's a huge piece that's often missing in balancing poses. Strengthen the quad so far up that it stabilizes into hip flexion, like you're pulling the thigh bone up into the hip socket. Now keep your right leg aware and strong. Reach the toes back. Reach your fingers back, shoulder blades to spine, and level out head and heel. Now the body may still have to work to strengthen the certain muscles in this position, so you might feel that movement. It might even take you a moment to memorize what are the muscles and to let the mind scan and continue to activate them. 3 more big breaths. So it's a process. Some of you might not even get to the point in this posture of being able to shift into any sort of breath. Maybe you're just breathing to survive this long hold. Take 1 more big breath. Float back to crescent. Whew, okay. Arms reach up, big inhale. Drop your right knee slowly down. Full breath in. Open arm twist to the left as you breathe out. Reverse, full inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand down. left arm to the ceiling. Keep equal weight from left foot to right knee, and then roll onto the pinky edge side of your left foot without spiraling the hips to the right. Hips stay level. Stretch your left arm to the back. Push your right shoulder blade away from your ear, prop your chest open. And then bend your right knee and grab onto the foot. If you can't grab the foot, it's fine. You can just stay reaching, maybe even with your knee bent or with your foot down. And then we hold and we study this posture. So like I was saying in airplanes, sometimes the postures are not quite ingrained in muscle memory enough. Where to engage, where to open, that we spend the majority of the time just trying to do the posture, which is fine. That's a big part of the asana practice and a huge thing to get to find a healthy body. You have 3 more breaths here. So take the complexity of this work into digestible pieces. Maybe in this posture, you're able to find a point where you understand the engagement, you understand how to hold it with integrity, and you can add in another layer of breath work. 1 more deep breath. Slowly untwist. Lift your right knee, place your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Anchor your right heel down and spiral your right arm open. Good, and then hold. So I've noticed when we have time to actually process what's going on, that an understanding empowers us further to create the true practice. Notice if it's just the busyness of the mind. It's not the posture here. It's not the accessibility to take the full capacity of breath, but it's just the distracted mind that's holding you back. And then often on the other side of the awareness of something is a small little gift of what to do next. Place your right hand down, step back to downward facing dog. So if I was to tell you, notice that your breath is quick, immediately, almost instinctually, you can slow the breath down. Take 1 more slower breath here. Bring your feet up towards your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Rise up tall, mountain pose, breath in. Exhale, your hands together at your heart. Gently push your palms together to squeeze your shoulder blades toward your spine. Close your eyes. If you haven't been able to access the breath technique, the asana is challenging. These longer holds are quite challenging for anyone. So if you haven't been able to access it, remind yourself of it here. It's just as impactful to start at any moment. Slow down your inhale, especially the last few moments of inhale or exhale. Slow it down so you can be aware of the little bit of breath retention that happens. Open your eyes. Sit back and down into chair pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Push down into your right foot, draw your left knee up in towards your chest. Keep pushing down through the right foot, but reach your tailbone back so you're not scooping the pelvis under into an anterior tilt. Tailbone back, back body strong, your right glutes, your back extensors. Pull your left thigh bone into the hip socket from the hip flexors and deepen the core. Breathe. Listen to the breath. Take one more breath, full, patient, a supreme moment of stillness possibly. Warrior 3, extend your left leg back, reach your arms straight forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, right hand down, half moon, peel your left arm open. Squeeze your outer hips, especially that outer right glute, that's your foundation. As you squeeze the outer right glute, make sure to have weight equal from right heel to right big toe ball mound. Hug your inner thighs together for a sense of midline. Breathe. One more breath. Bend your right knee. Warrior 2. Lengthen your stance. Sink low into your right knee, steady your gaze. Push down through your feet to strengthen up your legs. And then hold your body completely still, except for the maybe deep tremble and burn of tapas, the intensity of your discipline. Steady your gaze. Find stillness. One more breath. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, straighten out your right leg. Inhale. Windmill your hands to surround your right foot. Lift your left heel towards the ceiling and then shorten your stance, feet wide, pyramid pose. Lift halfway up, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Lift halfway up, inhale. Twist your right arm up towards the ceiling as you exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Exhale and twist. Step forward, half lift. Exhale, fold. Mountain, inhale. Hands to your heart, exhale. Close your eyes. Draw the awareness inward. Lengthen your breath. Sit back and down into chair. Push into your left foot. Draw your right knee to chest as you rise to stand, hands to heart. Again, curl your hips like you're pushing your butt back and level your pelvis. So mostly that will be dropping your right hip down in line with your left. Squeeze from your right heel up to the right glute, inner thighs hug together. Draw your navel in and up to feel the support of lifting your right leg from the core. Come out of reaction in your breath. Create a distinction. The work of the body is strong and holding the muscular engagement to hold the bones in the posture.
which only provokes the nature of the breath so that we can become fuller, more fully aware, there it is, more fully aware of our work. Broaden your perspective by moving out of the nature. One more breath. Warrior 3. Full breath in. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches up, half moon pose. Push your left foot down into the mat. Strengthen up your left quad to your outer left hip. Squeeze your outer right hip and engage the pinky edge side of your right foot. Take 2 more breaths. Bend your left knee, warrior 2, land. Whew. Okay. Years of practice, still challenging for me too, which is good. My favorite quotes is your yoga practice always has to be a little bit smarter than you. So land in your warrior 2. Find the challenge, find the strength in the pose, so a little bit outside of the comfort in your length and depth. And then still your body and still your gaze. Now this pose might be a perfect example, right? If we were to stay here the entire class, you probably wouldn't like it. I don't think I would either. But our preferences all exists in our mind. Our practice exists outside of our preferences. Take 3 more big breaths. Our practice exists outside of the instinct to move out of this pose or to shift your gaze. Reverse, straighten out your left leg, full breath. When your hands to surround your left foot and shorten your stance, pyramid pose. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Inhale, lift halfway. Twist left hand up towards the ceiling. Slow down your breath in. Exhale, keep twisting the length of your breath out until you hit the natural pause of retention at the end of your breath. One more inhale. Empty out. Untwist, both hands down, step forward, lift halfway. Fold. Rise, mountain. Exhale, fold. Lengthen your spine. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog, slow it down. Down dog, exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, look forward. Step or hop through to your seat. Plant your feet. Reach your arms forward. And slowly roll all the way down. Anchor your feet right underneath your knees. Slowly push into your feet as you pluck your spine up off of the mat. Put more strength and weight into your triceps and shoulder blades than the back of your head. Lift your chest. Lift your hips. Full breath in. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Inhale. Slow down your exhale. Flip your palms. Take bridge or full wheel. Rise. Once you're aware of the posture, your integrity to hold it, then step into your breath technique. Slowly lower all the way down. Soles of your feet together, knees wide. Hand on your heart, hand on your stomach. Let go of the instincts. Let go of the instinct to quicken the breath or fidget the body, instincts that are just reactive to the external circumstance and our perception of it. And then choose your breath and create it. And then refine it. And then focus on that breath, that perfect unit of breath. Full enough inhale that a spontaneous moment of complete stillness happens. Nirodha. The same with your exhale. And those glimpses of stillness over a lifetime, a culmination of them are what we're looking to gather. Those moments of stillness, stilling the waters of awareness so that it can reflect upon our own consciousness. Keep your breath work as you draw your knees together. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Grab onto your left hamstring, figure 4. Keep the back of your neck long and broaden your collarbones. 3 breaths. Release your hands, cross your right knee all the way over your left, and then drop your knees over to the right. Let the weight of your right leg help anchor your left knee and left thigh towards the right side of your mat. Extend your left arm out to the left side of your mat. Slow down your breath. Unravel to center. Left ankle over right thigh, figure 4, supine pigeon. Flex your feet, soften your face. The longer we spend on our backs, which naturally affects our nerves, the heartbeat, naturally calms us down. The more you can take your inherent energy that was put towards creating the postures and use it to heat up the discipline, the tapas of your breath work. Release your hands, cross your left knee over all the way over your right. Drop your knees over to the left. Extend your right arm out to the right. And focus. Focus more intently on creating your breath. The posture will take care of itself. The body will take care of itself. Unravel to center. Draw your knees to your chest. Give a little rock side to side. And then gently push yourself all the way up to a comfortable seat. Okay, so take your seats, your meditative seats. Some elements you want to look for is that your spine is tall. Your hips are tilted forward, so you have extension in your lumbar spine, which posturally will support being able to take a fuller breath. Straighten your arms. Push the back of your wrist down enough that your shoulder blades help to prop your chest up. So you're lifting the weight of your upper body out of the pelvis, which can, in return, help to open your hips even more. Lengthen the back of your neck and then close your eyes. Lengthen your breath. Feel your breath as you breathe. Now start to create even more intention and effort around the breath retention. So as you take a full inhale to a point of reaching that spontaneous bit of retention, hold your inhale, hold your breath. Observe the instinctual response that arises and continue to hold, non-reactive. And understanding then that there's a distinction between these reactions and who you really are. Do the same with your exhale. You're slowly breathing all the air out until you hit that pit, that pause, and then grab that pause and extend it, holding your exhale. And the more practiced you become, the more you can sit in stillness as the body's instincts heighten, as all of your fight response comes out to play. Every moment that you don't react, your mind, body, your consciousness sees beyond these reactions, sees through them. And do this for about 1 more minute. This technique is called Kumbhaka. The challenge mainly is in holding the breath for longer and longer periods of time. One more breath. Push your hold a little bit farther past your comfort zone, out of the preference, into the work. And when you've let go, just allow yourself to exhale, release the technique, release any holding of your breath. And really we get to enter then into a space where we are perfectly primed for meditation to arise, as release all effort, but stay fully conscious. And so this is the practice of yoga. The first 3 sutras clearly stating out, now begins your practice of yoga. Yoga helps to calm the fluctuations of the mind so that the seer can abide in their true nature. Let this be that space for you. Join your hands together at your heart center, spine tall. Honoring what's within, honoring that seat of your true nature. Hands to your forehead center, honoring everyone that practiced today, that's on the same journey as you. Namaste. Namaste, yogis.